and pregnancy also may induce goiter, but these enlargements usually disappear with treatment. Now here is a multinodular goiter, enlarged thyroid gland, and you see multiple solid nodular masses. Another example of nodular goiter with type 2 vascularity, multinodular goiter. Now nodular diseases, if you scan a thyroid and you see a nodule in it, the nodular diseases is the most commonly encountered, and the incidence is between 4 to 7% of adult population in United States. These palpable nodular lesions are more common in females. On the other hand, thyroid cancer is extremely rare, and in the general population the incidence is 0.004%. So most solitary neoplastic nodules that you scan on ultrasound eventually prove to be non-malignant masses. The first things, the nodules that you see on ultrasound are the adenomatous or colloid nodules. These are cold nodules that appear as hypertrophic thyroid nodular areas within the thyroid gland. These are the most common type of nodules and are not true neoplasms. So you should keep in mind that most of the nodules that you see in thyroid gland, these are the colloid nodules, and these colloid nodules are not true neoplastic nodules. These are the areas of hyperplasia. These are rather zones of hyperplasia. They usually have cystic components, internal cystic degenerative areas, and these cystic areas are often because of internal hemorrhage and necrosis. An example, a thyroid gland with a very large complex mass having internal degenerative area, and it proved to be colloid nodule. Another example of adenomatous or colloid nodule in the right lobe of the thyroid gland. This patient had two masses, one is complex with internal necrotic areas, and another one well-defined oval hypoechoic solid mass. This one proved to be adenoma, and this was the colloid nodule. The most common true neoplastic masses of the thyroid gland are the adenomas. These are benign solid neoplasms contained within a capsule, and these are typically asymptomatic. The most common ultrasound appearance of an adenoma is a solid, homogeneous, well-defined oval or circular mass. The size is variable, and they can appear as hypoechoic, isoechoic or hyperechoic. Now one characteristic finding of adenomas that you see anywhere in the body, adenomas, fibroadenomas in the breast or adenomas in the liver, is that these are the masses that have a pseudocapsule around them, and the reason for that is that adenomas are benign, slow-growing tumors that respect the tissue planes. They don't infiltrate into the adjacent organs. They grow slowly, and by growing slowly they press or compress the adjacent normal tissue, and that compressed tissue forms a pseudocapsule around the mass. That pseudocapsule on ultrasound is visible in the form of a hypoechoic ring or hypoechoic halo around the mass, and if you see that hypoechoic ring around the mass, it is the most characteristic feature of adenoma. Small solid adenomas with uniform echogenicity may be mistaken for cysts, but a small solid lesion will not show you posterior acoustic enhancement. As I have said, most adenomas have a halo of hypoechoic tissue. Some have localized peripheral calcifications or may be entirely calcified, resembling a calculus that you see in the kidney or in the gallbladder. So three types of presentations of adenomas. You have a well-defined mass. You can have a mass which has a halo around it, or you can have a calcified mass in the thyroid gland. This is a well-defined solid hyperechoic mass, and you can see the hypoechoic halo. Another example of adenoma and benign mass. So you see very little vascularity in the mass. Another very large, well circumscribed hyperechoic mass with peripheral halo. This was a solid mass in the isthmus, and you can see the peripheral hypoechoic ring around it. Another example of adenoma, a large hyperechoic mass, and you see this ring around the mass. A heterogeneous mass with some cystic areas and hypoechoic halo. We thought it to be colloid nodule, but it proved to be adenoma. A calcified mass. Another well-defined isoechoic type of mass with hypoechoic rim around it. Same patient, and you see two masses, one is this one and another one hyperechoic and more typical looking for adenoma. You see the hypoechoic ring around it. Calcified masses with shadows. A small entirely calcified adenoma in the thyroid gland. Another calcified mass, and adjacent to it you see another well-defined hypoechoic solid mass in the same lobe. Another adenoma with hypoechoic ring around it. So as usual, I don't know why whenever I am here the video clips don't run. Next is the cyst. The cysts comprise only 10 to 15% of the solitary thyroid neoplasms, and you should keep in mind that the cysts that are seen in the thyroid, most of the times these are not true cysts. They are usually benign when well marginated and measuring less than 4 cm. On ultrasound, a cyst that you see anywhere in the body, it may be a cyst in the liver, kidney, thyroid or breast, it will have the same appearance, that is, it is round or oval in shape, it is completely anechoic, will have increased through transmission or acoustic enhancement, and it would give you edge shadowing. Most of the cysts that you see in thyroid are not simple cysts and represent degenerating adenomas, hemorrhagic or parathyroid cysts. So most of the times the cystic mass that you see in the thyroid gland is not a simple cyst, so it will not be anechoic, it will have internal debris. Now this is an example of a simple cyst, beautiful cyst that you can imagine for fulfilling all the criteria for a simple cyst. A well-defined, thin walls, rounded, anechoic mass with posterior acoustic enhancement. And when you come to a case like this, it is a complex, predominantly cystic mass, it is giving enhancement but has thick internal septations with internal debris. Another example, this was a patient in which FNA was attempted to aspirate this cyst, and after the aspiration you see some air inside the cyst. Another complex, predominantly cystic lesion in the thyroid gland containing debris. Another lesion fulfilling all the criteria for a simple cyst of the thyroid. When I was checking it from there, all the video clips were running. Now finally, few words about thyroid carcinomas. Not finally, we will go into the inflammatory diseases, but focal nodular masses, the final lesions that you can see are the carcinomas, are the malignant masses. For a given population, if you see a nodule in the thyroid gland, the chances of malignancy are extremely low. That given nodule will most probably be a colloid nodule or adenomatous nodule. Second possibility that it can be an adenoma. and very remote possibility that it is a carcinoma of the thyroid gland. The predisposing factors that can help you in suggesting that the nodule that you are seeing can be malignant include a young age, male gender. When I am teaching my students, I used to say this sentence that the male gender is unfortunate in the sense that all the malignant tumors are more common in males except those of the genital tract of the females, and that is because they have it. If the males were having breast, the breast carcinoma would have been more common in males. So male gender, rapid increase in the size of the nodule. If you see a nodule and you rescan the patient in a month and you see that the size is enlarging, so it is a sign of malignancy. If you see a mass which is hard and fixed to the adjacent areas, the presence of adjacent metastasis like enlarged lymph nodes in the neck, or prior to radiation therapy, all these are the predisposing factors for thyroid malignancy. The malignant masses of the thyroid usually differ from the benign nodules in appearance. As we have said that the benign masses are well defined, so most thyroid cancers are solid hypoechoic masses which have irregular margins. I have said that a given hypoechoic nodule, however, is more likely to be benign than malignant because the prevalence of the benign nodules is much higher in the general population. Nearly half of the papillary carcinomas contain a laminated calcific spicules which are known as psammoma bodies, which have posteriorly fainting shadows punctate calcifications. So if you see a mass in the thyroid gland which has microscopic calcifications, small calcifications with faint posterior shadowing, these are the psammoma bodies, and the mass is more likely to be malignant mass. Psammoma bodies, when present, strongly indicate the diagnosis of papillary carcinoma. In contradiction to the smooth, thin, equilucent halo surrounding the benign masses, a thick, incomplete halo is more suggestive of malignancy. We said that the malignant masses are infiltrating masses, they invade the adjacent structures, they don't respect the tissue planes, so these masses, even